In the garden of a busy life, stillness is not the absence of growth, but the soil in which wisdom takes root and peace blooms naturally. And that is the thought for today. Welcome to 7 Good Minutes. I'm Clyde Lee Dennis. Thanks for joining me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. In today's episode of 7 Good Minutes, we talk about making space for still moments in your busy life. Enjoy. In the rush of daily life, we often forget that stillness isn't the absence of productivity. It's the foundation of it. We've become so accustomed to constant motion, endless tasks, and perpetual stimulation that we've lost touch with the profound power that lives in quiet moments. Yet these still moments aren't luxuries we can't afford. They're necessities we can't afford to ignore. When you make space for stillness, you're not stepping away from life. You're stepping into a deeper relationship with it. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why still moments are essential for your well-being and discover practical ways to create pockets of stillness, even in the busiest of days. We live in a culture that equates busyness with importance and constant activity with success. Our calendars are packed, our phones are buzzing, and our minds are racing from one task to the next. In this environment, stillness can feel like laziness or wasted time. But this perspective misses something crucial. Stillness isn't empty time. It's fertile time. It's in these quiet moments that clarity emerges, creativity flourishes, and your inner wisdom has space to surface. Think of stillness like the pause between musical notes. Without these pauses, music would just be noise. The silence gives meaning to the sound, creates rhythm, and allows the melody to breathe. Your life works the same way. Without moments of stillness, your days become a cacophony of activity without rhythm or meaning. The still moments are what transform busyness into purposeful living. Still moments don't require perfect conditions or hours of free time. They can be as simple as taking 3 conscious breaths before starting your car, sitting quietly with your morning coffee before checking your phone, or pausing to notice the sky during a walk. These micro moments of stillness are like drops of water that, over time, can fill an entire well of inner peace and clarity. The resistance you might feel towards stillness often comes from fear. Fear of what you might discover in the quiet, fear of falling behind, or fear that you're not doing enough. But stillness isn't about doing nothing. It's about being present with what is. In these moments, you're not avoiding life. You're fully experiencing it, without the filter of constant mental commentary. When you make space for still moments, you begin to notice things you've been too busy to see. You might become aware of tension you've been carrying in your shoulders, thoughts that have been cycling through your mind on repeat, or feelings that have been asking for your attention. This awareness isn't a problem to solve. It's information that can guide you toward greater well-being and more conscious choices. Stillness also serves as a reset button for your nervous system. When you're constantly in motion, your body remains in a state of low-level stress, always ready for the next task or challenge. Still moments allow your nervous system to downshift, your breathing to deepen, and your mind to settle. This isn't just pleasant, it's physiologically necessary for optimal health and clear thinking. The practice of creating still moments is deeply personal. For some, it might be sitting in meditation for a few minutes each morning. For others, it could be standing quietly in the garden, lying on the floor, and focusing on breathing, or simply closing your eyes and listening to the sounds around you. The form matters less than the intention to pause and be present. One of the most beautiful aspects of still moments is how they change your relationship with time. When you're constantly rushing, time feels scarce and pressured. But in stillness, you remember that you have enough time for what truly matters. You realize that the feeling of time scarcity often comes not from having too much to do, but from not being present with what you're doing. Still moments also enhance your capacity for everything else in your life. When you've touched base with your inner stillness, you bring a different quality of presence to your work, your relationships, and your daily activities. You're more focused, more creative, and more resilient. The time you spend in stillness isn't time taken away from productivity. It's time invested in becoming more effective and fulfilled. As you move through your day, Remember that stillness is always available to you. It exists in the space between your thoughts, in the pause between your breaths, in the moment before you react. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions or empty schedules. You can make space for still moments right now, right where you are, simply by choosing to pause and be present with this moment as it is. That does it for today's episode of 7 Good Minutes. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on the platform you're listening on. Until next time, let's be civil to one another out there. Thanks for listening.